All right, hey gorgeous ones. Okay, so I'm back. I know I don't know with this whole filming thing. I kind of got off my square, but I am coming back for y'all. I'm coming back for y'all. So anyway, today we are going to be talking all things Tarte eyeshadows. I'm gonna do like a quick mini review of them, and then you will see the looks that I have created with all three of these palettes. What palettes are they? Well, you're not gonna know unless if you leave. So if you want to find out about the palettes that I've been using by Tarte and the looks, don't go away.
Yes, I can light the whole universe. I am different, I am purpose, I am brilliant. Yes, I feel it.
All right, so we back. So I kind of had a eyeshadow palette explosion. You know how it is. Like, you know, you wind up just like 1 month, you just keep buying palettes and keep buying, and all of a sudden you got about 9 or 10 of them. You don't know how that is? Okay, some of y'all, I know y'all know. Okay, so anyway, I went I bought some Tarte palettes, and it has been a long time since I honestly bought a Tarte palette. I've gotten like one in BoxyCharm, one of them Tartelets, I don't know, Tartlet and Blooms. No, not the Tartlet and Blooms, those Rainforest of the Sea or whatever it was. But anyway, I didn't like it. I got rid of it. This time, and so the last one I've honestly bought, I think, was the Tardis Pro Palette about 2 years ago. To be quite honest, Tarte palettes are, you know, were kind of boring me. And I get it because Tarte's aesthetic is very neutral, and I really haven't been going neutrals. But recently, Tarte has been doing some things, y'all. So I wanted to show you some palettes that I you know, decided to get. They were on my birthday wish list, some of them, and then the last one, of course, was not. All right, so the first one I'm gonna talk about is Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust. I don't know why I cannot speak right now. Just roll with me, roll with me, roll with me. Now, this is Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust. This is limited edition, but it keeps coming back in stock. So it was out of stock, it was in stock, it was out of stock. So if you want it, I think it's still in stock. Now, to be honest, this is one of those circular ones, and like I said, I've been kind of staying away from the Tarte palettes. I don't know why. I wasn't giving them any love, but all of a sudden my heart has been beating for the Tarte ones. So this is the first one. This is Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust. Now, to be honest, the highlighter is a goner. Tarte highlighters are pretty soft, and I didn't buy this because of the highlighter, so I was cool with it going. So anyway, here's Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust. It's a very pinky, mauvey, neutrally kind of vibe, and that is what Tarte does really well. These shadows are so nice. They blend so beautifully on. They also, you know, they've given you some neutrals, so you're not stuck with just a pinky look. The reason how I wound up getting it was because of Mel Thompson. I had seen it, but he hadn't really talked to me. But then when I saw it on camera with her, I was like, oh shoot, I like it even better, because like I said, I like these colors in here, and I like the fact that they have a deep burgundy color. You know that I have a thing about if I'm doing a pink palette, if I'm doing blue palettes and stuff like that, I like to have a deepening shade that is tonally with the, you know, that goes with the palette, as opposed to, oh, we're gonna throw in a dark brown, oh, we're gonna throw in a black. Now this one does have a dark brown, but it does also have some neutrals in it. The mattes in here are Love and Trust and Fairy Dust. They work so well. I mean, they were so easy. They were creamy. Let me just show y'all. Like this deep one right here, that, you know, it's like a beautiful, you know, burgundy with the little brown in it. And then I love this color right here. You know, they blend so easily. They were so easy to work with. And so, you know, did I use any of the shimmers really? I think I used a couple of shimmers, but I kind of did a smoky eye look. So now the look that's gonna go with this. Now let me tell y'all, when y'all see it, I'm gonna put the look up, and then I'll go into the next, you know, review. So the look that I did with this was this burgundy smoky eye. I'm not the best with smoky eyes, but when I looked at the footage, I noticed on my left eye, this eye right here, and I'm gonna point it out to you, I have a whole spot that never got any shadow. Now, it was not because the shadows do not work well, but because I have a fold on this eye, and I know I'm supposed to pull my eye, you know, when I have it closed, pull it so I can get into that area and make sure I have eyeshadow on it. So even though it looks good from afar, when I was watching myself do it, I was like, oh snap, this didn't work out that well. But I'm still gonna show it to you because, you know, we family here, and you know, why shouldn't I show it to you? So anyway, this is the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust palette. If you like these type of tones, I would say go ahead, and you don't have something like this in your collection, this is a very nice palette to have in your collection because it does give you a nice pretty pinky mauve side, but it also gives you some neutrals so you can do more looks. Like for instance, like the cherry palette and everything, the big thing that people complain about is because it's so cherry, it's so this, that you can't get that many looks out of it. Not to me, but hey, that's just me. But with this one, you have enough neutrals, like this one right here, this one right here, that you can and you have a neutral a shimmer, so that it makes it easier for you to do some looks. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and you're gonna see the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust look with the big patch in the eye that I didn't catch. I don't know what happened. All right, see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm about to do an eye look, but I'm gonna be a little backwards because I have everything else on, which is not normally what I do, and I have my lashes on from earlier today. So I'm just going to freshen up my face and do a little eye look with the lashes on. I know this is not the way it's done, but to be quite honest, I'm about to be lazy and not take these lashes off because I've had them on all day and they're looking kind of good. So if you would like to see the eye look that I'm about to do, don't go anywhere. All right, so let's start out with Whimsical. And that's this beautiful mauve in the palette, and I'm using that in my crease to create this you know, just to really give it that blend of going from this to make the smoky eye, to create the shape of the smoky eye. That's what I mean. So I'm creating the shape of the smoky eye in my crease, and then let me tell you, these shadows worked so beautifully. They were just so easy, you know, just effortless to get them on. No patchiness, blended really well. And them lashes are banging too. I forget which lashes I had on that day. I think those are my boudoirs. No, my Iconic Lights by House of Lashes. That's what I was wearing. I was really talking to y'all. Too bad y'all can't hear a word I'm saying. And my bun is looking really good. Go on, Regal Bun. Work that Regal Bun. So next I'm using Giggle, which is the pinky matte, the light pinky matte, to blend out the top of the crease so it's not this harsh dark line, so you have a nice blend to it. Now I'm just putting in the Wish, which is that deep plummy color in the look at it, it's so beautiful, to create the smoky eyelid. Now first off, I'm not the best at smoky eyelids, so just bear with me. And then I have my lashes on. So now we over here on this eye. Now you're gonna see, you see that spot right there, you can see it right there coming. I don't know how I just kept missing it. I think it's also because I had my lashes on, so I really couldn't see my whole eyelid. That's gonna be my excuse, y'all. My lashes was the problem. My lashes. But how did I do this whole eye look and just really did not notice that I was missing eyeshadow right there? Next, I'm gonna take the Whimsical again, and I'm gonna use that to blend the top of between, you know, the dark, the Wish, and that, just to make sure I get a nice blend on it so there's no harsh line. Then I'm all cleaned up and ready to go. So now I'm going to do Wish underneath to like you know, smoke out that eye. But of course, I'm not going to like fill that spot, because that spot is going to be there forever. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking about it. Now, next I'm gonna use Flitter, which is this pretty pink shimmer for the inner corner. And now you can see the full entire look in 3, 2, 1. So here's the final look. It wasn't, it was not the hardest, but I wanted to try doing a little smoky eye. I don't do smoky eyes a lot, like this intense of a smoky eye. And so I wanted to try it out and see could I do it. I don't feel like my blend is perfect, but it's pretty damn good. But anyway, so this is the look with the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust. Let me know what you think about it. All right, talk to you later. Hey, I'm back. All right, so let's talk about the next palette. We're gonna talk about this one. This is the High Tides and Good Vibes palette. Now, when I saw this, I said, okay, I want it. Now, first off, let's talk about the packaging. Tarte does such cute packaging that does not get too immature and kiddie-like, because Too Faced has a tendency to go either super sexy or, kind of like really immature and preteenish, whereas Tarte does things that, as an adult, I don't mind having. Now, I will say this is a very thick, cumbersome, palette, but it is what it is. I think these are like $39. By the way, the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust is $39 also. So now I'm gonna show you this one. This is so pretty. Oh my goodness gracious. I love the fact that it has this side over here. This is a very, neutral side, but then it gives you your pops of color, which we know that's the thing to do now, is the neutrals with pops of color, but it has more color in it than normally, because normally these palettes will have like that blue and then everything else is neutral, whereas this one gives you this lineup of pressed glitters, and then it gives you these beautiful shades to play with. Now, they are definitely to the quality that I expect from the Tarte shadows. Now, the thing that I wound up doing, because this has 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes, and then these are kind of satiny ones and some shimmers, and of course the glitters. So this one right here I actually wound up using as my deepening and in my crease. So even though it has a little sheen on the eye, I was able to make it so it didn't. And who cares? You can have glitter in your crease. Auntie Pat do it all the time. I mean, not auntie, because she is not auntie to me. She cousin or sister, because I'm not a youngin. So sorry, I'm not gonna call her auntie. I'm just not. Okay, so anyway, that was a whole tirade about what I call Pat McGrath. Okay, but anyway, the mattes are really pretty. They blend very easily. And I actually worked with this pressed glitter here, this one, and I think this one. So I used this one and this one to create the layered glitter effect that I have on this eye look that you're gonna see in a second. It was not that hard to do, and to be quite honest, I'm not that person who's going to sit there and blend for 17 hours so I get this perfect blend that I could take the IG picture of. I look fine from a distance. We're gonna do a little distance on them. But anyway, this palette, love it. I'm like really happy with my palettes. This palette I absolutely love. If these colors sing to you, call to you, I would say go ahead and try it, because it is a really beautiful, easy palette to work with. All right, so now next up is the look I created with this one. Let's go to it. All right, so let's get started. So I started out with Surf's Up, which is the nice, pretty, light teal color, turquoise color in there to put in my crease. Use it as like a, transition to put a nice little light base of the colors that I wanted to play in today. And now trying to make sure that you get the colors on nice takes a little bit of time. So, you know, give yourself enough time so that you can actually build up your shadow as opposed to trying to put on too much at one time. Now I'm putting on Dive In, which is that beautiful deep satiny finished like turquoisey. I don't know if it's a turquoise, I don't know what you call it because I'm not the best with shade names, but anyway, I was using that in the crease and the outer corner to deepen up the corner and to deepen up the crease and give it a beautiful, you know, layer, you know, deep layered or blending effect right there. And as you can see, I don't have any spots that I'm missing. I think it was having the lashes on because, like, see right there, I can actually see what I'm doing and they're not being blocked by the lashes. So mental note, let's learn not to have your lashes on before you put on your eyeshadow because you can make a big mistake like I did. That was called being lazy. But plus those lashes look so good. Okay, so now after I finish really getting that, I'm going to clean up my lid area, and then I'm going to add in South Beach, which is that salmony pink matte color. I put that on the lid, and at first I was going to leave it just like this and rock this look like that, but then I decided, no, let's go for some glitter. So, you know, once I get this on and I've blended in the edges, because now I'm blending in the edges to make sure that there's no harsh lines, which is what you should always do. Then I'm going to decide to do the glitter. So now first I'm going to put on some NYX glitter glue to give it a good tacky finish to put the glitter on. Now I tried to use a silicone applicator. That did not work getting it on. So I wound up using my fingers, which was so much better. So I'm using the Aquaholic, which is the green glitter. And then in order to, because it was a little too dark, I then decided to layer it with Champagne Beach, which is the gold. So it gave it like a really green goldy effect on my eyes. And so I finished up, you know, I went back, finished up, and then I worked on the rest of my face. And now let's see how the rest of the face looks. All right, so here it is. And I'm being extra. I'm playing with, you know, editing. Doing some new editing. Let me know what you think of it. So anyway, this is how it turned out. I really do like the way it looks. It was a really nice, pretty look that came out. And it actually wasn't that hard working with the glitter. So don't be afraid of the glitter in this palette. All right, so here we go. This one is done. On to the next. All right, now this palette is the one I am wearing right now. And I have got to say, baby, these eyes are banging. These eyes are banging. Let me do that again for y'all. There's some bug in my room. Oh my goodness. But anyway, look at this. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Y'all see these eyes? Child, please. All right, so let's talk about what I have on my eyes. And this is the palette. Well, this isn't the palette, but this was the beginning of the blue period in eyeshadows, blues and greens. This started it all, not this one, but we all know last year, 2018, Tarte put out this Icy Betch, and it was a April Fool's joke, and everybody was pissed at them because everybody was like, what? We want this palette. And then Tarte was like, April Fool's, and everybody's like, see, this is the kind of stuff you need to do instead of all these, you know, neutral after neutral palettes. Well, Tarte said, we're gonna come back this year, we're gonna do it. And they came out with this one, which was a womp to most people. But me, I said, well, I kind of like it. Now, let me say this. In person, this palette is so much better than the pictures. And it's such a great price. It's only $24. So, let me show you the palette. Now, the highlighter was a casualty of my shipping. I don't care because I didn't get it for the highlighter. But look at these beautiful colors. All right, now I know people like, oh my God, I don't want it. It don't make no sense. I don't like the way these are. I'm gonna tell you this. I am not that anal. I don't have what everybody claims they got OCD. I don't think most of these people have OCD. I just think they're being assholes. But anyway, being just picky. I don't care about the size of the different size pans. I just like the colors. Now, when I saw it and I finally got it in my hands, I was like, you know what, girl? You know what? They done talked about you and you came for us. You came for us. And I think this is such a pretty palette. I think it's really nicely done. They have this nice white matte in here so that you can, like, you know, lighten up and shade in better, which is what I wound up doing at the very top of this, because these are intensely pigmented. This color right here, baby, she tried to get away from me. She tried to get away from me, but look at how gorgeous she is. That is such a pretty intense turquoisey, you know, turquoise blue. That's on my eyes right now. And so I want to say, so you playing with it, it was beautiful. Now I want to say the shimmers are decent. You know, they're not the most metallic. They are shimmers. They are not, you know, and they build up nicely. You really don't have to use a wet brush, but it does make it more intense. So I've used this one and this one in this eye look. Love them. I haven't used the darker ones. Well, I did use one of the darker ones underneath my eyes. So altogether, I've used this color right here. I've used this color, the white right there, that right there. I think I did that one too. No, I did this one, these two, and then this underneath. So I did use quite a few of the shades in here, and the quality is there. I mean, I gotta say that the quality is very consistent on these. The mattes are, you know, kind of soft and creamy with not a lot of kick up, and the shimmers are and can be built up to intense. They will give you I kind of like them because they can be used as crease colors and things if you don't and, you know, outer corner if you really want to, if you do not, you know, spray them. And so they will give you a sheen but not too bright. And then if you add and spray them with, you know, some Fix Plus or whatever you use, and then put them on, it gives them a little more intensity to give you a really pretty, you know, look. They blend really well. They do not muddy. I have no complaints. I'm happy to have it. I know people are like, I don't want it. I'm gonna tell you, for $24, if you are thinking that you want to get a blue kind of palette, but you don't want to get the big one, the blue blood. You don't want. I'm just messing with my J-Star fans. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. If you don't want to do that, or the other blue palettes that I will be reviewing soon, this is a great little blue palette. Not too much, not too many colors, but if you want to have some blues in your collection, if you ever want to draw from some blues, this is a good palette to have. All right, so next up finally is this look. I know y'all wanted to see it. I know, because it's so, I gotta say, I really do like it. I really do like it. Oh, but one thing before I forget, the inner corner highlight, because I don't think I mentioned it, or maybe I will. Oh, well, whatever. Never mind. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'll just tell you now. Anyway, the inner corner highlight is this LA Girl gel liner in champagne that I have fallen in love with. This is almost one of my go-to inner corner highlighters, and I love it. I love her. I love her. All right. So anyway, let's go on and see how this look turned out. See you later. All right, so let's get started. So I'm using Becky and I'm gonna do a halo. I decided to do a halo, so I'm using Becky, which is this bright kind of blue in the palette. Now when I saw it, I thought it was gonna come out a little bit lighter, but it does not. It is very true to the pigment in the pan, and so it's a pretty, you know, intense blue. And so I'm using that to create the halo. And now at this point, I have committed to the blue, and I am using it very deeply on here. And I am making sure that it is very blue. This is going to be a blue look. Come through, Icy Betch. Come through for me. Now at this point, I am serving up full Mimi from Drew Carey with this blue on my eyes. And if I left it like this, I would definitely be you could call me Mimi. Because this is some intense blue right now. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm going to start buffing it on the edges, trying to, you know, soften up the edges of that. And now next up is Veronika, which is the white in the palette, and I'm using that to soften up the edges and also to give it a more gradient effect, so it'll be a little bit lighter around the edges and look a little more polished as opposed to Mimi. We want polished, not Mimi. Alright, so next up is Vivian. And Vivian is the kind of like blue genie matte in the palette, and I'm using that to deepen up this halo. So I'm going in the inner part of this of the Becky, and I'm using that to deepen up the color and to create that the halo, which is going to have like the outer edges is going to be, of course, a little bit brighter, and then as you go in, the gradient is deeper in the inside. Alright, so now I have cleaned up and made created the halo, and I'm using Cheryl, which is a pretty blue shimmer, but I used it dry with a brush. I did not wet it because I wanted it to be have an intensity but not be so shimmery in effect. So I wanted it to be almost, you know, I wanted it to give that shimmer effect but not so blinding. So that's what I did there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Vivian, which is the green shimmer in the palette, and I'm going to spray my brush and I'm going to put that right in the middle of the lid. So I'm using that right in the middle of the lid on top of the Cheryl to give it give it a kind of a, I don't know how to say it, but like a kind of cute blended effect. So it's blue and then it has green in the middle, a little shot of green over top of it. And you can see where the green is coming out. All right, so now I am going to continue to work on my look, finish up my eyes, put on my makeup, and let you see the finished look coming in 3, 2, 1. All right, so of course you've seen this look throughout this whole video. Here's the final look. I decided to use Aria, which is a deep blue, underneath my eyes to smoke it out. Let me know what you think of this video. What are your thoughts on it? And as always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. See ya. Right. All right. All right. Well, that didn't go as planned. Let's hit